This video provides you with another tool similar to standard form to help you develop a good argument and assess those you encounter. SEEI was developed by Gerald Nosich, and the formula is quite simple. You state your premise, you provide an explanation or description by elaborating, you illustrate your premise by using examples, and you illustrate by helping your audience create a picture or a visual. The S stands for state. To do this, you summarize what you understand in 1 or 2 sentences, preferably 1 sentence. Then you reasonably reflect on your thinking and focus on what you believe to be your definition. Again, preferably 1 sentence. The first E, elaborate, is the actual steps of reasoning the content out logically. This is where you have to be quite reflective. You have to consider your own thinking, your purpose, assumptions you have, consequences, and clearly defining your thoughts. By doing so, you will be able to give a thorough but succinct explanation. It's best to restate your premise and actually use the words, in other words, but then provide the description. The second E, exemplify, are the examples you use to relate using real-life experiences. This helps you to set firmly into your mind the content. A link is formed in your audience's brain when they can relate something learned to something experienced. It is also highly effective in painting the picture for your audience. I is for illustration. It is like losing your glasses. Everything is blurry, and when you find them, everything comes into focus. The unclear lines appear and you can see things much clearer. Illustration is the relationship between the content, idea or thought, and the visual picture you form in your mind or that you create for others. Here's a simple example. Let's say you had to create a simple argument about why college instructors ask you to use correct grammar in all of your writing. State it. Grammar is a set of agreed upon rules for language and punctuation with the goal of clear communication. Elaborate. In other words, grammar is a way of using words and punctuation so that as many readers as possible can agree upon the meaning. Example. For example, we use grammar not just in English papers, but in all oral and written communication. When that grammar is correct, we have a better chance of accurate communication. Illustration. Grammar is like the rules of the road. When we all use the same rules, we have fewer accidents or breakdowns in communication, and we all get where we're going safely. Clear communication. Here's another example. Pause the video and read the passage over. Note the color-coded sections that help identify how a well-written argument includes all of these elements of SEEI. Restart once you've had a chance to review it. One last example. Let's say you were asked to explain the concepts of a sound argument. You would start by stating or defining the premise or topic. To elaborate, you start with, in other words, and provide description that helps the audience understand the term or concept more fully. It details items that may be unfamiliar or often confused or misperceived. Next, provide an example. Here, the example of abortion is used to validate what a sound argument looks like. Again, it brings in the definition. The idea of abortion or the stance used is not a moral implication. Too often, people lose sight of the forest for the trees. Remember, this is an explanation of what a sound argument is, not a persuasive speech on abortion. The author or presenter uses it as an example to deconstruct it and use it to the advantage of making their point, the soundness of an argument. Many effective arguments use examples that are shocking, uncomfortable, or controversial to hold the audience's attention, or sometimes even to distract. Finally, the illustration. By providing a metaphor, you can help the audience understand the concept more fully. Consider using the SEEI method as you write your arguments to help you become a more descriptive writer while building a good case for your premise. The SEEI method helps you provide a much more vivid illustration of argument for the audience, which aids greatly in its persuasive strength.